Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be having a look at 5 types of trainers during Go Battle League. So let's have a look at number 1. Number 1. So basically this is the player that just doesn't care about their elo and just wants to get their battles done really fast. In the first match, we see Captain into low kicks. I am running Poison Jab to surprise some fairies. This is better for us in this matchup. Opponent does outpace by 1 turn and X's a wood 1 shot, so I'm just going to shoot that up. Go for the Trailblaze straight away. Next, I'm going to fire a 5 and then switch into my Pidgeot to catch the move. X's doesn't do much damage as it is resisted. Opponent responds with Toxapex and I am just going to threaten Brave Bird and not throw my energy so that the opponent throws their Brian. I'm going to send in Gyarados now. And then I'm going to now go for the Crunch. Crunch is going to do some decent damage. It won't KO, but I attempted to catch there, but unfortunately not. Opponent goes for the Sludge Wave, and now I'm going to go for the full farm down. Opponent is going to come in with Drifblim, and they end up catching. How? That's an absolutely amazing catch from our opponent, and that just loses us the game, as now we've got nothing to throw into this Drifblim, and that's a GG's. In the next match, as you can see, my elo was 2200, which is 310 lower as we last saw it, because of these teams. Yep. Now the opponent, in the next match, we see Shadow Glade. I'm going to shoot up the close combat. There we go. And we get the full farm down, which is very nice. Opponent's going to come in with Superior, and I'm going to go for the Trailblaze now. Trailblaze, the opponent actually calls the bait, which is pretty insane, as Dynamic Punch or Dark Pulse would have pretty much one-shot. The next Trailblaze is going to be grabbing a shield, so I'm going to shoot at this as we are very much boosted. Opponent comes in with a non-Shadow Feraligatr. We do outpace. Actually, no, this is the CMP tie, which is even better, with the Trailblaze to the Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon is going to get the KO. Hydro Cannon going to do quite a bit of damage. I'm going to send in Gyarados, and Gyarados is going to go for the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail is going to take out the Feraligatr, and that's GG's. Number 2, the Toxic player. So, as you know, I don't have a Bastiodon, so I'm going to be using a Registeel instead. We see a Wigglytuff into Gastrodon, and as every Toxic player does, they play extremely aggressively, and I save switch immediately into my hardest counter, which is Victory Bell. Opponent responds with Lucario, which really isn't a response, and we're actually going to be able to flip switch here, as you're about to see, as Leaf Blade is not going to grab the KO, but we get the farm down before they do. The opponent is going to come in with Azumarill, so this person was very weak to Victory Bell, and now I'm going to send in Registeel, and this is just another RPS for the win game for these Toxic players that are just everywhere. Actually less this season though, but it's Toxic teams are now Charm double Mud Slap, so yeah. And Registeel isn't as toxic as Bastiodon, so I tried to not be the super toxic person. Anyway, that's a GG's. I'm going to fire with the Icy Wind. Toxic teams, I think, just work too well. It's absolutely insane. I'm sorry, trainer. In the next match, we see a pretty neutral lead into Stunfisk. I'm just going to stay in here, as I already still definitely does not want to see Stunfisk, but it's going to fire for move. I'm just going to shield it up, as every Wigglytuff does. But it does go for the bait, and the opponent is going to barely outpace, but they throw an alignment. This is like 300 elo lower than what I'm used to playing at, so I guess it is like not the highest level gameplay, but nonetheless it's still entertaining. Opponents in Swampert. Oh no. How much damage is one Razor Leaf going to do? That is way too much. Opponent safe switches into Altaria. I respond with Registeel. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. This was another RPS for the win game. Then I shoot the Zap Cannon, and we get the attack drop. Sorry. Number 3 is the Let's see. Oh yes, the free wins player. Free wins for everybody. They just like, they don't care about elo. They're just like, here's a free win for you. So the opponent's just like, what is happening? They wait a few turns. They're just bullying us, I think. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good GG's, I guess. Number 4. This is the super annoying player. The most annoying player. The person who runs triple super bulky team on Go Battle Day when people are trying to get through battles fast. These battles are slowed down. Just joking. Anyway, I don't have the bulkiest Pokemon. I don't have like a Bastiodon and stuff. So this is the team I'm using. It's a pretty bulky team. I'm gonna go. Opponent attempts for the catch, but I don't fall for it. I respond the Guzzlord Safe Switch with my Registeel, which is making an appearance twice in this video. This one isn't exactly the highest rank. I think it's rank 1000 something, because I did catch it from a raid. It's a 96% IV 15, 14, 14. I'm gonna go for the Focus Blast. I was kind of scared the opponent would just come in with the their lead and just like farm us. But they end up shielding, and that's completely fine with me. If they double shield, that's even better. They've double shielded, that's completely fine with me, as now we have a 2-0 shield advantage, which is absolutely great. We do not have Switch, but it's not that important in this game, as Umbreon and Toxapex do okay into the lead. Opponent's gonna fire off Brutal Swing. After the Brutal Swing, I'm gonna shoot it up to preserve some health, and now I'm gonna overfarm by quite a bit, and then go for the Sludge Wave. Sludge Wave is going to be taking care of the Guzzlord, and the opponent is going to be coming back in with Excadrill. They do throw a move just before we make it to the Brine, which is very unfortunate, but I do understand that the opponent is 4 to the second, so I throw 2, so that's not on the same P-tie, and the foul play is going to be taking the Excadrill. In the back, it's for Alligator, and this is looking like a GG's, as I can fire off the Dark Pulse after 3 snarls for good timing. Dark Pulse will do quite a lot of damage, and the opponent cannot make it to back-to-back before we make it to 2 moves, and that's another GG's. Dark Pulse is going to be taking out the Feraligatr. In the next match, another pretty neutral lead, Umbreon into Talonflame. I'm not sure if that was a catch attempt or something, but the opponent just spanks 2 Incinerates and switches into a little Ninetales, and I've got a great answer in Toxapex. Usually we would wall their usual moveset, but this opponent is running Psyshock. I'm just going to go for a full farm down, and the opponent's going to come in with Greedent. Greedent is a Pokemon I haven't seen too often in this new meta, as Mudshot was nerfed as well as Body Slam. We are only going to be able to make it to a Brine. I tried to charge up to a Sludge Wave, but the opponent wasn't counting and shields up anyway. Opponent is going to fire off a move into our Registeel. The Crunch unfortunately does get the defense drop, but actually these Mudshots are kind of chunky now. That's completely fine, as Crunch still won't do that much damage, and we're going to be able to fire off the Focus Blast to take care of the Greedent. Opponent is going to no-shield it. For some reason, I stay in to throw a few lock-ons, which is probably not a smart play, but I switch into my Umbreon to go for the Dark Pulse. It ends up being on the CMP tie, which is quite risky, but it's completely fine. I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is going to connect and do some nice damage, and I think this is probably a GG's by now, as I can just let the fly through. It won't do that much damage. And now I can overfarm, and now we deal with the back-to-back foul plays, so this is another GG's. Bulky teams are absolutely too OP. I literally threw this team together. There was no thought into it. There was literally no thought that went into the making of this team. It was like, oh, Umbreon's bulky. Oh yeah, this is my rank 9 Umbreon, shiny Umbreon, which is very cool. Yeah, so that's GG's. Number 5. The Hacker. So yes, as you'll see, I do some very nice hacks in this. battle. No, I'm just joking. But have a look at this. So Snova into Typhlosion. This is a 200 CP Shadow Snova. One Incinerate takes care of us. I'm going to send in Piplup. Look how I'm pressing so much on the screen to make it to make me ultimate powerful. Anyway, thanks for watching. But we're able to take care of all 3 of their Pokemon in one shot. GG's.